Today I'm going to be talking to you about transforming your holistic routine. So a lot of times we don't realize that it is our habits and our routines that really sums up our activities. So let me say that again. It is our habits and our routines that sums up our activities. So on the basis of what you do consistently over time. So yesterday I talked about holistic habits that will transform your life. Today I'm talking about structuring a holistic routine to elevate your life to another level. Right? So basically, once you got a whole bunch of habits that helps you organize different categories, you just put them together in a routine. So now you're like, isn't that very simple? Well, here's the thing. First of all, people don't intentionally create habits. They subconsciously relive their habits. So that means that it's going to be even much harder to say, oh, people actually have actual full-on routines. Okay. So if they're not constantly, purposefully, mindfully creating habits, they definitely are not doing that in a routinely fashion. So basically today I want to talk to you about creating a holistic routine. Shout out to everybody for tapping in. This is Rise and Prime. Make sure you like this video and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Instagram, make sure you share this video to a friend. If you're listening, share this podcast to a friend. Let's tap in. So, your routine is so important, okay? Your routine is so important and you need to make it more important. Lately, I've been looking at some of my midday to afternoon routine. So normally we talk about the rising routine and the evening routine. I'm realizing I need to work on my mid-afternoon routine, like between 2 to like 6, right? So there's a routine everywhere and there are things you accomplish. Now, you might not look at it as a routine because it's such a routine that you don't know it's a routine. That's the problem. If it's such a routine that you don't know it's a routine, you probably didn't consciously create it. So I want you to really start analyzing your time. I went to a conference one time and one of the presenters said, listen, if you looked at your 24 hours, it says literally create a schedule, your 24 hours outline, and see what you're doing every day. Okay, because you might not be doing the right thing every day. And that's why you're not going towards the right goal. Maybe there are some time wasters. Maybe you're spending your time on urgent things that are not important. Or you're spending your time on things that's not important. So you're like, damn, I really need to work on my routine. How do I do that? One of the things that I do constantly is journal. And there's this part of my journal called a day schedule. I now call it the day itinerary. I used to call it a schedule, but I found out that, when we think of schedules, we think of confinement, which means we think of something that locked me in and I gotta escape. I gotta escape my schedule. Like, I got a schedule to stick to. When we think of an itinerary, it's like you're going on a trip, you're going on a vacation, you're going on an exploration, you're building something. When you think about a project plan, you're working on something. You're building a life. So what is it that you want to do? How is it that you want to use your day the best possible way? This is the reason for a holistic routine. How is it that you're planning to use your day in the best possible way where not only you gonna be able to accomplish, but you're gonna be able to enjoy? Which means this includes also entertainment. It includes mindfulness practices. It includes personal development. It includes communication. It also includes you working on your gift and your business and your brand. So these holistic routines, it's not just one major routine. We categorize them on the basis of throughout the day. Now, how about we call it more rising, day, and evening? Rising routine, day routine, evening routine. And somebody asked me like, yo, what you mean, man? Rising is how you get up. That's going to set the entire, almost like the whole flow of your day is going to be on the basis of how you woke up. So whether you wake up empowered or you wake up in shame, whether you wake up excited for the day or you're like, I got to get up again. Whether you wake up in mindfulness or in sporadic living, right? Whether you wake up and say, hey, look, how am I going to create today? Or you wake up and think, man, look what's going to happen today. I'm not going to like it. So it's going to be on the basis of how you look at life. So you're like, I got to have a rising routine. Yes, you do. And if you've been waking up just in time to go to work or just in time to do what you got to do, you don't have enough time for you. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you have enough time for you. So you want to establish a rising routine that's going to be very beneficial to you. Because without establishing a rising routine that organizes your life, it's hard for you to organize your day. Without organizing your day, you go to sleep in shame. So if you have a powerful rising routine and a lackluster day routine, you're going to have a horrible nighttime routine. Because the lackluster day routine is going to make you feel so bad about your day that you're not going to be able to be in the right mind state to prime your night. So you want to have not just a good rising routine, but a good day ritual. A good day ritual is not you being super productive. I got this done, I got this done. No, it's that you looked at your day and you said it was good. You know, in the beginning, there was a void, and then God created the heavens and the earth, and then he said, let there be, and he said it was good. We got to think of the same mindset when it comes to creating our days. Like I just said, creating the day. You did not necessarily, you don't have to suffer your day. You can create your day. But some days are so heavy that it's hard for us to create it the way we want it. But at least we could align ourselves with the way God wants us. And that's in gratitude and peace and joy. These energies, that's in understanding. That's in knowing that it's not going to last always. So even though you can't have your way every day, live your life according to God's ways, right? And he will make a way for you. So the way you set your day is very important, but your day is also super important, because you don't want to wake up empowered and go to sleep in shame. You don't want to wake up and say, the day I finally was going to get this done, I'm going to write this music and get it out. I'm going to call these people. Oh, I'm going to finish my logo. I'm going to finish my website. I'm going to make a podcast. I'm going to look, you don't want to every day you feel like, damn, I didn't get nothing done today, right? You want to have a continuous improvement. And the way you do that is through structure, order, right? A lot of people don't have that. You're like, what is the structure and order? Structure and order starts with itineraries, plans, having something to look at and say, what's my next move today? You know what I'm saying? I already have my next move planned. Right, what I'm saying? 11 o'clock, breathe and break. 10 o'clock, Ed Talks Daily, and post Ed Talks production. So this is not a confinement. This is a freedom tool. I'm not confining my day because I could reschedule something if I want to, easily. I could flip that around. So I'm gonna do that this time and do that time. So a schedule is a very important tool of ensuring that you get stuff throughout the day. And as you just saw, I input a breathing break. I input some time for myself throughout the day to get out of the situations that I'm in and get myself in one. What we're doing so much is we're giving forth energy towards our brand, our business, jobs, people, family, friends, kids, relationships. But we don't sit and give energy to ourselves. And that's the issue. So I want to remind you, if you've not been taking time for yourself throughout the day, a seat outside, a breathing break, just a relaxation, like, you need to start doing that more often. Even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That's very important, because you want to have that restoration, the restoration every day throughout the day. So you don't just have a to-do list, you got to have a to-be list. You also have a to-grow list. So your holistic routine is to be, to or not to be, to do or not to do, to grow or not to grow. So when you choose not to have a routine, you're choosing not to. I want you to choose to be or not to be present or to run away from your presence by drowning out yourself with alcohol, drugs, food, sex, and distractions. To be present or be just in tune with what's happening. to be or not to be, to do or not to do, to do what you said you're going to do, or to just lay out and just remain idle and then feel so bad about that idleness that it becomes restlessness. Look, a lot of time, instead of being restless, you can be productive by acting on what you want to do. Restlessness is usually a symptom of not living purposefully. So somebody says, I haven't found my purpose. Look, if you think you have not found your purpose, I'm going to tell you, one of your major purpose is to grow. And that will reveal the purpose to you. So let me repeat that again. If you think you have not yet found your purpose, make your purpose to grow. And then it will be revealed to you. So that means if every day you ask yourself, how can I grow today? You won't have a purpose problem. You're just going to keep growing. So I want you to make continuous improvement an important part of your life. Now, I recommended people subscribe to this podcast. Go to edtalksdaily.com or text edtalks to 561-510-9605. I recommend that all of the time. This is one way of learning. We was reading the E-Myth Enterprise today doing Rise and Prime. Another way of learning, reading books, attending workshops, seminars, having coaches. I offer one-on-one coaching. So if you need a coach to help you with your brand or help you with your mind, body, holistic, I got you. So you want to do a continuous improvement every single day. You got to improve one way or the other. When I'm not inspiring, when I'm not giving information, when I'm not empowering, I'm being empowered. I'm being inspired. I'm being educated every single day, all day, nonstop. Okay? And then my break is when I take a break. So guess what? I'm always putting something in my ear, reading something. Like, I never stop learning. So you want to keep learning. This is going to be, when a part of your major routine is going to be like, I am a continuous learner. I am a serious student. Okay? So you're like, okay, I can do that. So you're like, what does my day routine look like specifically? Okay. So some people are not working from home. So that means that they don't have everything at their disposal, like a juicer and a blender. They don't have the whole homework, or they can't take like a break from work and then go home. But some people do work from home. So you want to make it that you are living out a lifestyle that you're not dreading work. Even your work, if you are entrepreneur and work from home, even better. You could integrate it with your lifestyle, which means your work day is not just I work 9 to 5. No, I work in between the hours of, some people, like if you're a really entrepreneur, you're probably working between the hours of like 5 to like 9. But all of it is not work, because some of it is working on yourself, some of it is working on your mind, some of it is working on it's so much different. The work involved, some of it just working on your health. So if you think of a mentality that like, I really work from 5 to 9, 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., but all of it is not just work on my business, some of it is work on myself, then you start to build that itinerary. Because then at 5 a.m., you're like, yo, I got to read my favorite book, do my favorite meditation. You're like, at 6 a.m., I got to post my podcast and write a chapter of my book. You're like, at 7 a.m., I'm going to do the Rise and Prime. You're like, at 8 a.m., I'm going to do the tech work and attend another mastermind for my own health. You're like, at 9 a.m., I'm going to do work on my garden. Then at 10 a.m., I'm going to do Ed Talks Daily. Then post Ed Talks Daily, I'm going to take a break. Then after the break, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do some content. And I'm going to do some more marketing. At 12 p.m., I'm going to do some calls. In between your entire schedule, it's not like you are working the whole time. You have in between breaks. Now, some people, they might say, man, that don't work for me. It does work for me. Some people, they need to sit down for specifically 4 hours to do specific things, or 5-6 hours. Maybe that works for you. I just could give you what I've suggested. But what I realized is when you stack your habits together in a routine, the more you do them, the faster you get them done. So there are certain things I do before 12 p.m. ends, and you see it all over the place, and you're going to see it for years and years from now. All the clips you see are from something I do before 12 p.m. All the podcast episodes I do before 12 p.m. Majority part of the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe content classes done before 12 p.m. So I have all of these content and value add way before 12. And those I clip from them and I use them as marketing, as empowerment, as all types of stuff throughout the day. So before 12, I've done majority of the things that I needed to do for that day as it relates to marketing, content, providing the service that I said I'm going to provide. Unless now I got other things. Now I got a speech, or I got a class, or I got some whatever I got to do. Then now I have other time slots I got to fill. But in between those time slots, the times I'm not doing the speech, because guess what? Once you're not trading your hours for dollars, it gives you time to trade, to create ideas that's going to get you millions. But you got to be patient and mindful and clear enough to do the activities that get you closer to that. So you're like, what do you mean by that? It means your freedom of time is not a burden. Your freedom of time is an opportunity. You just got to organize it more effectively. That means you also have to look at the gaps in your routine. So look at the dead spaces, the spaces where you get distracted, the spaces where you feel like you need this. Sometimes those spaces are needed. Maybe it's your body saying, look, if you work from 5 to 12, at least at 12 you can have a break. Sometimes you don't feel like doing it. It's your body saying you need a break. I'm not saying all the time or always, but I'm saying sometimes. Sometimes when you don't feel like doing it, you probably need to implement a break in that time slot. You're like, every day at 1, I feel, ugh. So you need to make sure that if you can, make 1 a Qigong practice time. Make 1 a sitting still practice, a self-massage, a yoga, a pray, whatever is going to help to recenter you. So you look at your routine and say that. So you got to figure out what the gaps are in your routine. You can't do this unless you're a self-reflective person. Some people, they don't reflect enough to know what's happening. So that's why the journal prompt for this morning doing Rise and Prime was like, yo, do a midweek inventory. What do you need to readjust so that way you can live your life according to what you say you were going to do? So do a midweek inventory. Like that is, you want to check to see what your routine is looking like. Like I said, specifically, I am working on my day in between the day. So what I found out, what are some most effective activities I can put in my midday? Now, I've discovered I want to speak in front of millions of people. I want to speak in college institutions, K-12, organizations, corporations. In order for me to do that, I need to make calls. So I said, if I have time in between my day, like 1 to 4, 1 to 3, where I have like gaps, I'm going to spend most of the time sending out proposals. So now I say that between 1 and 3, I'm going to send proposals for speech opportunities. I'm going to make calls to nonprofit organizations. Bada boom, bada bing. Whether you're a yoga teacher, yoga instructor, whether you're a Pilates teacher, whether you teach Qigong, whatever it is that you teach, whether you're an artist or a painter, look, you can actually do the same thing. You said, look, I'm going to use this time period for prospecting. I'm going to use this time period for connecting, for community, and then you actually go and you do it. Now, somebody says, yo, I know this all sounds good, but I procrastinate a lot, brother. I don't know why, but I do procrastinate. How do I get over procrastination? That's a whole nother episode. Go listen to the episode I wrote about how to get over procrastination. Because procrastination can go really deep. But we're not going to talk to how to... we're going to make it very short for you. I want you to realize what internal conflict is causing your procrastination. What shame is attached to it? What fear do you have attached to it? Like, what do you fear losing? What do you feel shameful about not doing? And what do you feel like you're missing? What do you feel like you're missing? What do you fear losing? And what are you shameful about? I need you to let all that go. I need you to step into the knowledge of it. I need you to dismantle it. And I need you to step into, look, what will this make of me to achieve it? I need you to ask yourself, look, who is depending on me to make this happen? How is what I'm going to do going to impact the world? And why is it that important that I actually do it to its entirety? Really ask yourself those questions. And if the answers to that is not pulling enough, if it's not pulling enough, I need you to ask yourself is, do I want to continue to suffer due to the lack of not doing, or do I want to rejoice in the act of? Do I want to continue to live out the past, or do I want to create my future by acting now in the present? What would it make of me to achieve what I really wanted? If I did what I needed to do today, what would happen for me as a result of? And I just need you to go and do it. Right? So every single day we have to dismantle the emotional states that holds us back from acting on what we need to do. And I need you to just do it. So put it on your schedule and just do it. Like sometimes you're gonna have to really keep repeating in your mind, I'm doing it, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this today. Today's the day I send the proposal. You're gonna say, today is the day I call that person. Today's the day I pitch myself to that organization. Today's the day that I set up the corporate wellness template. Today's the day that I do it. And you do a piece of it. You put it, look, you create projects and you dissect the project into pieces and put them into time slots throughout the week. This is called your routine. You dissect your project into pieces and you put it time slots throughout the week. So you're like, what should I do today? What's your vision? What's your target? What's your goal? So now, whatever that is, if you had like a project book, you say, okay, out of this project book, I'm going to focus on this step today. In addition to focusing on the project that you're working on, you understand that you yourself is a project, right? If you want to get out of the project, you got to make yourself a project. And you got to realize that, what are the steps to my project? And what do I need? What can I do today with the resources and tools that I have in order to get there? Okay, so a holistic routine is very powerful. Now, not once did I just simply mention your holistic routine being the thing that you use for the accomplishment of your business goals. Your holistic routine is the thing that you use for the accomplishment of all your goals. So you want to build better relationships. Part of your routine should be calls. Right? You want to heal with that person. Part of your relationship should be spending time. That should be in your routine. You want to lose weight. Part of your routine needs to be fitness and exercise and nutrition. If you want to have a peace of mind, part of your routine should be breathing and meditation and all of that. So your routine is on the basis of the outcome that you want. So it's not just financial outcome. Holistic means it's not one outcome. It's many different ones. So you say, hey, what is it that I need to do today to ensure that this happens or that this is created? And then you simply do it. A lot of times you might even look at yourself, you see what you're doing against your own goals and target, and you don't do anything about it. You're like, yeah, I'm wasting time right now. I'm really not doing much. I should be, but you're not doing it. It's because there's something in your brain that is holding you back, and you're letting it run your life. You're letting your mind run your life, and you got to run it. So you do it every day. Now, some people, the reason why their routine slack off is because they don't see the results right away. They're like, yo, you mean to tell me if I start to do that, and that, my life is going to transform, but when am I going to see the full result? You got to change your mentality from when am I going to get the end result to as I'm doing it, I'm getting the result right then. The result of your routine is the outcome of it's not the outcome that happens at the end, but it's the income that you get the day of. So it's what you come into daily. It's how you feel daily. It's how your days go. It's the beautiful moments you get to experience daily by having an itinerary for your life rather than a box of confinement. So it is a benefit just to do it. So the benefit is the doing of itself. The excitement comes from you having something to do strategically daily to go to a target, because that gives your life purpose. At least you're playing a game. But if I woke up daily and I had no game to play, no target to hit, no version of myself to get better at, nothing to bring out, then it feels I'm restless. So now either one's bring me some sort of indifference, apathy, disdain. My life sucks, ill thoughts, and that keeps causing the ripple effect. So he said, it's important to have a holistic rising routine, but it's very important to put some time management principles and productivity tips and mindfulness in the middle of the day. And then now we're going to go towards the evening routine. One of the major things I can work on better is a better evening routine. So that's how you close out your day, how you sleep. Now, the other day, I was looking at myself. I was like, bro, do you brush your teeth and take a shower every time before you go to sleep? And the answer is kind of like, you don't. I'm like, that's really bad. I need to start doing that, because I can't just like, I gotta brush my teeth and take a shower before I go to sleep, not just when I wake up. So you're like, yo, that's that important? Yeah, your hygiene. You gotta step back and do an inventory to say like, yo, I haven't taken care of my hygiene. Your room. I will let my room go into mess, and I'll feel the mess in my mind. The mess in your space is the mess in your mind. Every day you're like, I'm not productive. Well, no, look at your room. It's hard. You can't even walk around it. Of course you're not going to be productive. So you got to clean your room. So I realized that now, if you set up an evening routine, you're going to slowly calm your brain waves down. You're going to literally prime yourself to sleep, which is going to give you better answers, so that when you wake up, you got the answers you need. At the same time, a good night's rest means that you wake up better the next day. At the same time, when you're able to literally settle down, you're not like consuming a whole bunch of stuff that might like bring out crazy dreams. You're like, yo, let me meditate on that. Yo, let me work on that. Let me review that. Let me see what I did today. So this is something that I can be way better at. Okay. So I have my rising routine on point. Rising routine on point. My evening routine, not on point. My day routine, good. But I can be way better at productivity, because there's so many things that I need to do in addition to what I'm doing. So you're like, yo, what's the importance of just asking yourself that? Let's keep it real with yourself. Look, I'm not here to tell you a bunch of stuff that you don't already know. I'm just like a reminder. I remind you over and over and over and over and over and over again. And some of it seems so obvious. That's all I'm doing. I'm not here to judge you, blame you, condemn you, and say like, hey, if you don't have a routine, your life will not. I'm just saying your life will improve with one. I'm not saying your life won't be good with one. I'm just saying if you do have one, it'll be great. But guess what's the beauty of having a routine? That you're also able to let it all go. Which means if you wake up today and you're like, so I want you to hear this, and don't mistake this for and make it your reason for being lazy. I want you to remember, if you have an itinerary, and in that itinerary, no one per se is depending on you because of that itinerary, and you're not going to let anyone down by, like, if they're really, like, for instance, if you had a major meeting that's going to determine whether the company gets funding, you can't just let your schedule down. If you had a major you can't let, so this cannot be done all of the time. But sometimes you might have to do it in spite of. So this is not black and white. So this is how it is. So one of the major things with having a routine and having an itinerary is that if you want to let it all go, you can let it all go. Like, you want to know that this is a possibility, but guess what? Some people have jobs, they can't do that. Like, I gotta go to work. And you wake up, you're like, dog, I'm not feeling good at all today. So part of having an itinerary is not just that you stay disciplined and you stick to it. It's also that you have the freedom to choose whether or not this is the best way of living and creating your life for that day. So having an itinerary is not just the freedom to create the life or day that you want, but it's also the freedom to just say, okay, I'm just going to wing it. I told you, wings get you. Look, once you wing it, you clip your wings, because you're not able to set how far you want to soar for the day. Some days you just need to wing it because that day ain't about soaring, and some days it's just about like letting the wind carry you. Okay, and you will understand that because you've had many of those days where you're like, it's actually, I know I feel like I should do all of that, but right now I need to take a mental health day. You know what I'm saying? Some days you might actually have to call your job and say, I can't work today. There's something happening. I really need to take this day out for myself. And that's not selfish. Like Sela said, that's self-full, man. You understand that you can't give something you don't have. That's clarity and peace, and that's creativity. So it all comes together. So I said part of having a holistic routine is also understanding that you can let it all go. And another thing is also understanding that if you came out of your routine, you can come right back into it. So to have a routine, it's not to give yourself kudos for having one. To have a routine is to improve the quality of your life and create with your life rather than recreating the past and then having a low quality. So it's not a religion. Your routine is not a religion. So don't be an outcast by your standards when you've fallen out your routine. Understand you created them so you could just get back in them. So diminish the shame that it takes to get back to your routine. Now, I wake up early every day, but I have not been waking up at 4 a.m. like I normally do. So yeah, today I woke up at 4:44. So do I feel bad? Do I want to bash myself for not waking up 44 minutes earlier? Or do I want to say, hey, can I wake up at 4:30 tomorrow? Can I wake up at 4 o'clock the next day after that? And then do that way. That's better than saying, like, look at you. You didn't, you coulda, you shoulda, you didn't, you coulda, shoulda, woulda. And you should all over yourself, never really getting back on track to begin with. So listen, learn to be more understanding to yourself. The quicker you forgive yourself for not doing something, the quicker you are able to step right back into doing it. And somebody says, forgive myself. Is that a thing? Self-compassion is definitely a thing. Because you can be holding a lot of things. You're like, why am I procrastinating so much? Because you lied all over yourself about your procrastination that now you're literally crying about it. You feel so bad about it. You've not forgiven yourself. So you just say, hey, in order for me to not procrastinate, I'm going to procrastinate, which does not work. In order for me not to feel bad about not procrastinating, I'm going to procrastinate. See, that doesn't even make sense, does it? So I want you to say, listen, look, talk to yourself, listen, whatever you've not been productive in, whatever you think you should be doing by this time, up until this point, you have not set up the habits and routines that are helping you go towards that route. But from today on, I am choosing to change my mindset, my philosophy, which will then follow, my habits will follow, and I'm going to take those new habits and put them in a routine, which then my life result will follow, and I'm going to see the result of my labor. So from today on, you can say, I'm choosing to be this new way. And you walk that path. Okay? So that's what I'm choosing to do. There's some calls I need to make. There's some proposals I need to send. There's some stuff I need to accomplish. There's people I need to follow up with. There's some people, and all I got to do is remember to readjust. All you got to do is remember to readjust. Midweek inventory and a readjustment. Don't wait till the end of the week to look back at the week and say, I wasted the week. Look in the middle of the week. Look back in the first half of the week. Readjust. Get the second half better. So that way you're improving week by week. Because if you look back at the first half, you get the second half better. Then now you have improved towards the next week. But if you wait till the end of the week to say the week was not good, you have to make the improvement the following week. What if you didn't just do a midweek inventory, but you did a midday inventory? You did a mid-morning, like you did an inventory throughout different times of the day, different times of the hours, different times of the minutes, and you told yourself to get on track. And you literally coach yourself every single day. And you said, like, yo, what are you doing right? Look, are you living it up right now? Come on, Ed, you need to go live it up for a little bit. Hey, go to the beach or something. Like, you gotta remember that. You gotta remember to be your own motivator. So that's what the holistic routine is all about, and this is what the holistic lifestyle is all about, y'all. And that's what I've been talking about for the last year and a half. Okay, so if you want to build these habits and these routines that's going to transform your life, what I recommend you do is I want you to just give the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe a chance, man. Try a free 7-day trial. Is going to transform your life. Most people have been doing it the same way, that they need something to intersect and change their direction. Because you've like been waking up at the same time, you have nowhere to show up at that time. So you're like, why should I even wake up that early? Why should I even have a routine? What do I do in the routine? I don't know what to do. And your mind is so negative that you need it to be primed to positivity. So what I've done was I've organized this, and knowing how habits and routines can change people's lives, and I've turned it into a coaching program. I've turned it to an online gathering in the Rising called Rising Prime. And every single day, seekers and healers, coaches and motivators come together in a Zoom meeting. Whether or not you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to reduce the mental fog, you're trying to grow your brand, grow your business, you're trying to heal from a trauma, you're trying to have just better productivity, overcome procrastination, all of these different things can be tackled first thing in the Rising. So how does that look like? I told you, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Journaling, going in, seeing what's happening with you. Then I said again, The consist of a rising routine starts with mindful movement, getting rid of the issues in your tissues through your breath, self-massage, and Qigong exercises. Then you got to learn. You got to be a serious student, because if you're not educating yourself, you're not stepping into the knowledge of what will transform your life. So you got to step into the knowledge of what will transform your life. So that's what we do with the personal development. When we read the books, I'm not just bringing you what I got. I'm bringing you what these amazing people got. Michael E. Gerber, E-Myth Enterprise. So we read books in there. We talk about this. We go deeper. I tell you what, look, you're like, yo, what smoothies can I drink? In the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe, I tell you that. What's the detox? I tell you that. So in the podcast, I don't go 100% all the way in, because this is what I do. I'm a coach. I'm a teacher. I'm a healer. I'm a speaker. So I have to offer this as my service, and this is how I keep a roof on my head. This is how I'm able to show up here and do this. If I don't do it, if I don't charge people for my services, I won't be able to give you free value every day, like I do through Ed Talks Daily when you go to edtalksdaily.com. So I recommend, if you try to change up your habits, but like you want to change up your habit, like, man, I've had this problem for the same year. I've listened to the podcast for a whole year. I've had the same, and you have not showed up in a room. Listen, I know you're not serious. So why are you not showing up yet? Somebody said, like, yo, I'm extremely stressed, I'm anxious, I hold my breath all the time. And I'm like, okay, cool. You want to try Qigong? I got something that will help you. Like, I'm anxious, Ed, can you tell me some more like, you feeding on so much motivation. You feeding on the words. You like TD Jakes, Eric, you listen to everybody, but you're not taking any action. You're not changing your routine. You're not changing your habits. You just keep listening and listening. You got to get in these rooms. Like, most people, they don't get in the process. They just contemplate about it. They're like, oh, if I need that to start, but I need that. They never go get what they need. They simply talk about what they need. They're like, I need to wake up early. I need to change my routine. You've been saying that for 20 years. And you're like, yo, I got this. I'm going to just look for, no, you need to get yourself in a organized coaching program. You need to get yourself in a mastermind. You need to get yourself a coach. Most people don't think like that. Now, this is why I've figured out the 1%ers, like people at the top, they pay for these things. And they pay a lot. I'm like, whoa. But I realized that the people who need to pay for it, they're not willing. The people who are ready, like, they don't necessarily need to, but it benefits them, they are more willing. So you have to invest in your development. So you will, like, I need to change my routine. I need to have better thinking habits, better eating habits, better breathing habits, better branding habits. The Holistic Lifestyle Tribe is your support system. I am your coach. I am the holistic motivator, y'all. You see the value I give you in the podcast. But think about putting that in a routine where I can show you the secrets. Like, yo, I tell you that emotions are stuck in your organs. You're like, what emotion is stuck there? You're like, oh yeah, I know that's there, but are you going to come in and learn the breathing exercise to release that emotion? Are you going to come and learn the body drumming exercise? You're like, you got to move your lymph. The lymphatic system is a very important part of your immune system. You're like, how do I do that? Come and you shall see. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it will be opened up to you. So you can't just like expect things to happen, but you're not acting. So you're like, yo, how long are you going? I'm going to be talking about this consistently, because I sometimes I get frustrated because I hear the same thing from the person, but no change. And when I ask them, like, why haven't you? Okay, somebody's like, yo, I got to invest in that. You mean to tell me I can teach you a practice in addition to the routines that if you do consistently for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years can prevent you from getting sick? You would want to learn that and apply it in your rising routine? You're like, yo, I can't do yoga. Like, yoga is too complicated for me. I'm like, sure, fine. You don't have to do yoga. That's why I teach Qigong. You could stand up and do the breathing and moving, and you could stand up and improve and enhance your life force energy. So, listen, I've made it easy for you to get to this. I've made it easy for you to get the reminders. I have office hours. You can tap in 15 minutes when you're part of the community. I send daily text messages with breathing break remind. What I'm talking about, I structure it, I organize it, I have it all set up already. So if you want to go and recreate the wheel by yourself, you want to go and discover it, that's actually a great journey. It takes a little bit longer, and it takes a lot of inertia. But if you want somebody to intercept and create a new routine, if you want a blueprint to it, then that's why you want to join. Because now you're actually going to learn a breathing. You're not going to be wondering, do I sit down, do I do kumbaya, close my eyes, what do I do? No, you're going to know what to do. You're going to know this is the breathing exercise. You're going to know this is the journaling problem. And as you do it consistently with a community to support you, that's going to empower you. But if you have not had the motivation at all to get up and look, I promise you, one of the major things that help people transform is community, right? We have a desire to relate, connect with other people. And that's the other thing, that's the beautiful thing that the tribe has in it. So I want to invite everybody who's watching, if you're interested, comment below that interested. I want to see who's interested. If you're interested in possibly trying out a free 7-day trial, comment interested so that way I can give you the detail on how to get your free 7-day trial. Which means for 7 days, no obligation, you can actually sign up for the community. You can see what it's all about. You can try the Rising Prime sessions. You can get access to the detox, access to the book club. You can get in the community of healers, seekers, coaches, and motivators, and you'll be able to learn and grow with us. Okay, so that is the detail. Obviously, if you're interested, join. But guess what? If you're not, I'm still gonna be there. The tribe is still gonna be there. We're still gonna be growing it every single day. But you just gonna be tapping in and listening and possibly doing. And best of luck. Do it, right? Because I do this because I want to see the world get better. But a lot of people are not willing to invest. They just like, I'm just gonna consume free. I'm not even gonna buy a mug from this guy. But I'm gonna listen to every single one of his podcasts. I'm not gonna buy his anxiety, but I'm gonna listen to everyone. I'm gonna tell him how much I like it. I'm not going to spend $8 on the tea. I'm not going to spend free on myself for 7 days. So I want you to change your mentality, because once you start switching your mentality, you improve, right? You get in rooms, you get more opportunities, right? And what I really am going to see is this. I'm going to see many people who's going to end up knowing me and being part of being part, but never taking part. Just listening in, just watching from aside, but never taking the action, never showing up to, not even the free trial, not even a free day, Monday or Friday, but just listen all the time, all the time, but never show up, right? And in 5-7 years, the people who did show up, the quality of their lives would have just been transformed. And this other person who never even gave them, they're going to be like, damn, I should have been showing up to these rooms. Because I never knew what it would build in me. You don't know that you showing up to a room can improve your self-confidence, right? But you just sitting, you're like, man, I don't know how I feel like being in it, that you never take action. So for those of you who've been continuously listening and every day you hear this over and over, you just like, listen, I'm not here to make you feel bad about it, but I'm here to tell you this. Ask yourself, in 3 years, what will my life look like if I just passively consume and don't actively transform? I want you to ask yourself that. In 3 years, how would my life look like if I simply passively consume and never actively transform? You're just like, yo, I'm just going to consume stuff. I'm just going to hear stuff, but I'm not even going to act on it. Right? I'm not even going to take advantage of what it is. I'm just going to hear it. Okay? So you can be option number 1 or option number 2. So that's my message, and I'm sticking to it. It's the Holistic Motivator. If you're watching on Instagram, YouTube, make sure you subscribe and like this video. If you're listening to the podcast, I definitely would look. I'm gonna say it bluntly. I've been saying it like that. You are selfish if you don't leave me a review. Because it takes a minute, and you've been listening every day for a long time. So you can't leave a review. I'm going to say just like that, because that's kind of like how I feel inside. Can I be authentic? Because I'd be like, yo, you out here, you send me a message, you love the podcast episode. Why don't I see a review from you? Like, I want to be real. Like, you say you support somebody, but you don't support them. Because all I ask for you is to go to edtalksdaily.com/reviews and just let the people know, how is this experience for you? That's it. Is that too much to ask for something that I give to you for free on the daily? It's not, man. And I'm saying it like that because I've asked kindly so many different times, but sometimes you gotta keep it real. I'm just saying, like, bruh, you love this, it's free, and all I'm asking you to do is go on your podcast app, click 5 stars, 4 stars. If you were to give me a star, that's what you think it's worth, give me and leave a review. And I tell you, like, yo, doing this one gesture is like really, it's like showing you support me. And then many of you, even after me expressing to you how important it is to me, and you know how important this podcast is to you, you still gonna just go away and not do it. And that is crazy. But guess what? Like I said, whether you show up, I'm gonna show up. Whether you say I'm gonna invest in Ed, I'm gonna invest in you. So I want you to think about that. What is the reciprocity you want for your life? Do you want to not support people who support you in one way or the other? Or do you say, hey, like, yo, the least I can do is leave a review. And you go to edtalksdaily.com/reviews, click rate on Apple Podcast, preferably, or Spotify, and leave a review. You want to do it on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Now, somebody asked me, like, why do I need this? Why is it so important? Because I do this so much. I put my blood, my sweat, and my love into this. And I want it to reach many more people. And it can grow much faster, but I need you to help me. Yes, I said it. I need you to help me. Because I know I help you. So help me help you. Just leave me a review. Okay? So I appreciate y'all for tapping in. This has been Ed Talks Daily, a personal development podcast to help you grow holistically. I want you to remember this. Look, you have the unlimited power in you, man. You have the unlimited power in you to achieve whatever it is that you want, to curate the life that you want to live. You don't have to relive the past. You can actually create the future. Most people are going to condemn you to how you've been. God has says, you have not been condemned to how you've been. Most people only going to see you as how you've been good. God says, how you've been is just how you've been. How you were born to be is how you were born to be. But you have to believe that there's a bigger possibility, and transforming your routine is going to help you create your life how you want it. So do that. The holistic routine is so powerful. Remember, you have the unlimited power in you to achieve whatever it is that you want. But first you have to believe it in order to achieve it. And until that happens, the world forever miss all your talents, all your gifts, and all the great things that you have to offer. So remember, powerful beings, let your light shine. Don't hide it. Don't dim it. It's the Holistic Motivator. I want to thank you all for tapping in. And remember, stay blessed, stay in your power. And this episode was sponsored by the Anxiety blend with lemongrass, vervain, and lemon balm to help reduce your anxiety. If this podcast has helped you reduce your anxiety, why not drink the tea, the Anxiety? Just click the link below. You're going to see buy anxiety or get your anxiety to support and get your anxiety. It's only $8 for the packs. And by you just buying a tea, you'll be supporting. You'll be giving things. You'll be supporting yourself as you support this podcast. And you get fresh herbs straight from the garden. Anxiety. So look in the description and check it out. Peace.